Florida Real Estate Sales Associate Pre-License Co. 49 questions with explained answers. Flashcard 1. Term, local level, definition, planning and zoning, property taxation, building and health codes and regulations, and building moratoriums that affect development, play a significant role in the cost and desirability of real estate. Flashcard 2. Term, the Department of Business and Professional Regulation doesn't have the authority to issue what? Definition, an injunction. However, it can issue a cease and desist, a subpoena, and a notice of compliance. Flashcard 3. Term, the owner-developer must register with what? Definition, the department, but does not receive a real estate license. Flashcard 4. Term, a licensee who is found to be guilty of a violation may receive one of the following disciplinary actions: be issued a reprimand or an administrative fine up to blank, be placed on probation, or have their license suspended for up to 10 years or permanently revoked. Definition, $5,000 per offense, FREC. Flashcard 5. Term, broker's right to compensation, definition, question Q. Flashcard 6. Term, a broker associate acts in the capacity of a what? Definition, sales associate. Flashcard 7. Term, if a licensee decides to no longer practice real estate, they could return the license to where? What would be the status of the license? Definition, the department. The license would be cancelled. Flashcard 8. Term, referral fees, definition, Q. Flashcard 9. Term, salaried managers of condominium or cooperative apartment complexes are exempt when renting what? Definition, individual units within such condominium or cooperative apartment complex if rentals arranged by the person are for periods no greater than 1 year. Flashcard 10. Term, farming, definition, many licensees will concentrate on one type or style of property or on one particular neighborhood, a practice called what? Specialized in one area? Flashcard 11. Term, the blank can be exercised by the chairperson acting alone or can be delegated by quorum vote to any other commission member. FREC. Definition, executive powers. Flashcard 12. Term, a sales associate is employed by a broker Monday through Friday and for a builder on the weekends. The sales associate feels the added experience is beneficial, especially since both employers pay an attractive commission split. Is this okay? Definition, this arrangement violates the license law. Flashcard 13. Term, statutes can authorize the creation and operation of administrative agencies for what reason? Definition, to administer and enforce certain laws. Flashcard 14. Term, which condition must exist for an applicant to qualify for a Florida real estate license? Definition, the applicant must have a high school education or equivalent. Flashcard 15. Term, tract building, definition, when a developer acquires a large tract of land, records a subdivision plat map, and uses a model center from which sales may be made. Flashcard 16. Term, single agent brokerage relationships, definition, broker as agent to perform certain services on his or her. Flashcard 17. Term, as an agent of the broker, a sales associate has the same blank to the broker's principals, as does the broker. Definition, duties. Flashcard 18. Term, if an application to take the state exam is denied by the department, the applicant will be notified how? Definition, in writing. The notification will identify the reasons for denial and advise the applicant that he or she has 21 days from the date of receipt to request a formal hearing before an administrative law judge in accordance with FS 120, the Administrative Procedure Act. Flashcard 19. Term, attorneys in fact are persons who are granted authority under what? Definition, under a power of attorney to act for others in some capacity, such as signing documents. Flashcard 20. Term, broker associate, definition, an applicant for a broker license may choose to continue employment in a sales associate capacity with a current employer subsequent to passing the state broker examination. Flashcard 21. Term, the department may seek blank from a court against a licensee for failure to follow a department order. Definition, injunction. Flashcard 22. Term, a license may remain in an involuntary status for how long? Definition, no more than 2 years. Flashcard 23. Term, when employed by and licensed under a broker, a sales associate acts as what? Definition, the broker's agent in performing services of real estate. A sales associate or broker associate cannot receive compensation for performing real estate services from anyone other than his or her employer. A sales associate or broker associate can only work for one broker at a time. Flashcard 24. Term, for the first renewal, 45 hours, following an initial license, licensees must renew by completing the post-licensing requirements prior to the expiration of the initial license. Failure to do so will result in Definition: a null and void license status. Flashcard 25. Term: the licensee may not practice real estate while his or her license is what? Definition: involuntary inactive. Flashcard 26. Term: what action may the department take if it determines that an unlicensed person has operated in violation of a law or rule under its administration? Definition: an administrative fine up to $5,000 may be imposed. FREC. Flashcard 27. Term: going concern value. Definition: the value of a business, real and personal property, includes its income, tangible and intangible assets, and goodwill, in addition to the value of the real property. Flashcard 28. Term: the department does not have the authority to blank blank against unlicensed persons, but may seek an injunction from the courts for failure to follow a department order. Definition: issue injunctions. Flashcard 29. Term: a sales associate must complete a 45-hour post-license course prior to what? Definition: prior to the expiration date of his or her initial license period. The license of a sales associate who fails to complete this requirement will become void and licensee will be out of business. Flashcard 30. Term: a sales associate failed to complete the required post-license education prior to renewal. What is the status of the license? Definition: void. Flashcard 31. Term: authorized under agency law by the employer to perform a single act. Definition: special agent, a broker. Flashcard 32. Term: a sales associate is a general agent of the broker and automatically becomes a blank of all the broker's principals. Definition: subagent. Flashcard 33. Term: transaction broker, brokerage relationships. Definition: broker's right to compensation. Flashcard 34. Term: Q. Definition: Q. Flashcard 35. Term: blank blank education must be completed during the initial sales associate's license period. Definition: post-license, there is no grace period. Flashcard 36. Term: Florida sales associates who desire to become brokers must wait blank before taking the state exam. Definition: 2 years, 24 months. Flashcard 37. Term: property transfer, valuation, and marketing MVP. Definition: the 3 areas of expertise real estate licensees bring to the transaction relate to what? Expected to be knowledgeable in all areas. Flashcard 38. Term: the Department of Business and Professional Regulation is created by. Definition: created by FS 455, Occupations and Professions. It is also called the Department, an example of an administrative agency empowered by statutes. Flashcard 39. Term: what are the minimum employment requirements for a licensed sales associate to qualify for a real estate broker's license? Definition: employed for 24 months under one or more actively licensed brokers. Flashcard 40. Term: owners developers are blank but do not receive a license. Definition: registered. Flashcard 41. Term: a sales associate who wishes to become pre-licensed as a broker must satisfactorily complete what? Definition: the required pre-license FREC2 education course. The course consists of 72 classroom hours including an end-of-course final exam. Flashcard 42. Term: the Department of Business and Professional Regulation is created by which statute? Definition: FS 455, Occupations and Professions. Flashcard 43. Term: question 1 background question requires the disclosure of what? Definition: the disclosure of any criminal convictions, including felony or misdemeanor convictions or pleas, other than minor traffic offenses, regardless of adjudication. Flashcard 44. Term: a broker can be issued additional licenses in 2 or more capacities by requesting what? Definition: multiple licenses. Flashcard 45. Term: a licensee who fails to renew when required to do so will have his or her license placed on blank status. Definition: involuntary inactive. Flashcard 46. Term: the Florida Real Estate Commission is created by. Definition: it is created by FS 475, the Real Estate License Law. It is also called the Commission, an example of an administrative agency empowered by statutes. Flashcard 47. Term: a sales associate license will be blank if he or she does not complete the required post-license education during the initial license period. Definition: void. Flashcard 48. Term: if a broker's license is suspended, revoked, or otherwise void or ineffective, the licenses of all persons who are employed under such broker become what? Definition: automatically inactive. Flashcard 49. Term: what is a broker associate? Definition: a broker who is employed as a sales associate,